Hi, it's Heather Clifford with eXp Realty here in beautiful Comox Valley and the Campbell River area with a real estate market update going over the numbers for the month of March 2024. We are nearing the end of April right now, and we're going to talk about how the numbers, the price of homes keeps edging up month over month. We're also going to review a little bit of the politics that are going on right now with the release of the newest 2024 budget. Let's get started. Okay, once again, I have put a presentation together for you. I love going over the numbers. I find it very interesting to watch month over month and even to look back from the previous year at what has happened to our real estate dollar values for the price of homes here in my particular area of Campbell River in the Comox Valley. I also wanted to remind everyone that I do a lot of work with executors of the estates as well as probate sales, and have my certificate for working with seniors as a seniors real estate specialist. Okay, so let's talk about what Jason at the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board had to say for the month of March. As we reported last month, there is a lot of interest among potential buyers, says Jason Yoakum, Vancouver Island Real Estate Board Chief Executive Officer. Realtors are definitely busy, although the statistics don't reflect that. So what he is saying is, yes, we're really busy out there. I'm doing a lot of market evaluations right now, but people have not quite pulled the trigger to get their homes on the market. And as far as buyers go, it's the same thing. Either they haven't sold their home yet, or they're just praying that the interest rates are going to come down so they can afford something a little bit more. So we have a lot of that going on right now. Jason also talks about the difference in pricing geographically across the board areas. For example, from Nanaimo to Port Alberni, the differences in home prices. And that's definitely something that we all already know and understand when it comes to real estate. In the news, the big nasty news was filled with a lot of errors in this past budget, and it's getting a lot of backlash right now, especially the Canadian capital gains. But let's talk about the reality of the 3.9 million homes that the federal government says they are going to build in the next 7 years. And realistically, I pulled the numbers of our housing, and the most homes that were ever built in Canada was back in 1974, and there were 257,000 homes built. Jump to 2021, and we've got 222,000 homes. So relatively the same, basically. And what our government is proposing is that they are going to double, more than double that number year over year to get those homes built. And I think we have a little bit of reluctancy when it comes from the people that are going to build those homes. And I'm talking about the developers and the builders, because the price of construction, the materials, and the money you're going to need to borrow from financial institutions has gone up so much that it's not making a lot of sense right now. And it doesn't matter that the government is offering all kinds of perks to get those homes built. So as well, we don't have enough workers that are skilled for doing the work, and the government says they are going to bring those immigrants into the country to get the work done. We don't have enough housing for the people that are here right now, let alone bringing more people in. So that is a little bit of a concern for a lot of people that this statement has been made. There are some good things that came out of the federal budget, and that was for first-time home buyers. They are going to increase your withdrawal limit from $35,000 up to $60,000. And I just want to remind you that those RSPs have to have been sitting in that account for at least 90 days before you can utilize those funds. There's also a new death benefit that has just been released. But the main talk right now, and I didn't like the tone of how this was delivered. It is now getting a lot of backlash because the government has said that the capital gains to increase will only affect about 1.3 of Canadians, and now they're finding out this is not close to being true. The number of people that is going to be impacted by this new tax increase is significant. The other thing is we know that when the government is spending money, that money has to come from somewhere. And lately it has been coming in the form of more taxes. So it feels like we're being taxed on top of our taxes. So the next story is, well, the Bank of Canada start cutting interest rates when they do their next announcement. So the Bank of Canada, Tiff Macklin, has his next announcement in the first week of June. And a lot of buyers and sellers are really just sitting on the fence, waiting to find out what's going to happen. Now, generally, Canada follows the US, but the feds are not talking about decreasing interest rates at this time because the US economy is so strong. And here in Canada, our economy is actually wavering on what a lot of people are speculating as a recession. And so the Bank of Canada is talking about bringing the interest rate down in June, but that is going to affect our Canadian dollar. So we'll have to just sit back and wait to see exactly how things are going to play out. So let's look at our numbers. And yes, look at this. January, February, March, we have gone up a little bit, and then we've jumped up, almost doubled for the month of March. The number of active listings is sitting at about 1,084, and that is also up. So our market is looking like it's coming around. It just is, I'm calling this a very sticky market, is what I like to call it. We can look at our numbers, and this tells a really good story. I mean, we are down in Campbell River 45% over the same time last year on the number of detached home sales. And if you look at the Comox Valley, well, they're down 36%. So we're not seeing as many homes change hands at this time, but we are seeing more homes coming on the market. Our benchmark price is sitting in Campbell River at $677,500, and that is up 8% over the previous year. So while the market in November, December, and January was declining in the value of the price of a benchmark home in both Campbell River and the Comox Valley, now that we're into March, you can see year over year that Comox Valley is up 10%. So they're sitting at $856,300 right now. You can look at the benchmark pricing for townhomes and as well condominiums. And then what I did was I did a further screenshot for you. So you could look this month, last month, 3 months ago, and you can see that in the Comox Valley, we've actually gone up $36,000 in 3 months, and Campbell River has gone up $25,000 in single family homes. And it just keeps creeping up. And I think it's because of the demand that is for homes on Vancouver Island. And the story with the condo market is basically the same thing. It is etching its way up in Campbell River, and it's etching its way up in the Comox Valley. The townhouse market was the only market that actually saw the biggest price increase was 3 months ago, and then it fell in the month of February, but in March it picked up again. So there was more momentum over last month. And that is the same story in the Comox Valley. If we look at who is buying our homes and selling homes today, I am working with so many probate sales. And unfortunately, there is an estate that has to be dealt with. It usually takes 3 to 4 months. Someone's passed away. In some cases, I have sellers that have gone into seniors' homes. And I have a few cases where people are actually leaving the province for greener pastures, they're saying, in Alberta. So I am also dealing with that. We have young families that are transferring here. As much as I've lost 2 people to Alberta, I have sold a couple of homes to people from those provinces coming this way as well. And retirement is a big one right now. A lot of us over the age of 50, most of our wealth is sitting in our home. We have big homes, they're empty, our kids have moved on. And so it's time for us to downsize and maybe put a little bit of money in the bank and start doing some vacationing and really just enjoying our lives, because if you're like me, time is just flying, and we need to do what we can to stay happy. So if I look at the week over week snapshot from March to April, it's basically the same as new listings coming on, pending sales, price decreases. Everything looks the same except for the solds. And we had more homes change hands in the month of March than we have in April. And like we said, we were much busier last month than we are this month. I would like to do a big shout out to my property on Henderson Avenue here in Black Creek. It's just 2 blocks from the Saratoga Beach. It is a beautiful little 1,370 square foot rancher home for $849,900. It backs onto the Saratoga Golf Course, and it's really a nice little property if you're looking for downsizing and want to be in this incredible neighborhood. I have a beautiful townhome, very similar to the townhome I had on back in December. I've priced it the same at $725, and this particular townhome has 2 primary bedrooms. That means each bedroom has its own full bathroom. It's a 3-level townhome with a nice spacious extra bonus room downstairs in the basement. It has a garage, nice little patio, and it's downtown Courtenay in a very nice area right across from the park. My lot on Coleman Road. Now, this property, I'm getting a lot of activity on it. I did talk in my last report about bringing a pod home or 2 onto this property. You need a well, you need septic. It has 2 road frontages, so you would probably opt to put your driveway on Loxley Road because it's the quieter road over Coleman. But it's a great little property, and it is not far from the beach or Seal Bay Park as well. So I'm busy, but I'm not busy. People always want to know from real estate agents what's happening in the market. I'm working 7 days a week and I'm working long hours, but I'm busy and I'm not busy. So in the last week, we did put together a few deals. I wanted to talk about where all these people are going and coming from. So my couple on Catherwood, they were downsizing out of the bigger house into a more comfortable living. The clients on Glen Eagle are leaving BC. I had 2 townhomes on McFedrin leaving BC, and a purchaser on McFedrin, which is local. Willamar was an estate sale. Willow Point is an estate sale. Coleman Road is an estate sale. Royston is an estate sale. Campbell River North, this young lady is coming in from the mainland into that rancher, and I sold a local couple 4 acres in the regional district, as well as an investor. And there's not a lot of investors out there right now, but this investor for $200,000 is a pretty good purchase. So there's where some of the buyers and some of the sellers are coming from or going to, and what type of real estate they were listing or selling. I wanted to send my condolences to the Whistler Real Estate Company. This is a very sad situation. Mr. Patrick Kelly, who was my boss for many, many years, previous owner of the Whistler Real Estate Company, passed away a few weeks ago, quite unexpectedly. Pat was a pillar in both communities of Pemberton and Whistler. In fact, I owe so much of my professionalism to Patrick Kelly. He helped put me through UBC when I did the Urban Land Economics, which was a 4-year course that I did while being the managing broker for the Whistler Real Estate Company. He sent me to Europe to first learn about social media, Facebook, Instagram marketing, then down to California to learn about YouTube marketing, so I could share with all the real estate agents how to market their properties internationally. And then we traveled throughout New York, California, Florida, studying luxury real estate. As some of you might know, there's a lot of beautiful homes in Whistler. So my condolences to the team at REC, as well as to Julie Kelly. So there we go. That is our market update for the month of March 2024. If you have any questions or you would like to have a copy of this presentation, don't hesitate to reach out to me as well if you have any questions. Until we see each other again, take care and happy spring.